On the bench today we have a Sony STR 6055. I know I don't always include this, but this is from around I think 1971, something like that. If I remember correctly, 40 watts per channel. I might be off on the date, might be off on the rated power. This is the one that I got from Shop Goodwill. So probably gonna have to shoot this video in a couple of segments. I did look at this one already, so I've done a preview just to kind of know what we're getting into. Once I got it, I popped the case open. Everything was fine. Nothing floating around on the inside. A couple of issues to point out. There is some slight stencil wear on the end of the E in volume, which is not a big deal. Bent power knob. AM antenna. This is all there is. Luckily, there was one on eBay for 20 bucks, so I've ordered that. That's on the way. It was missing the feet, and again, luckily, I had some feet that... Let me just turn this up and kind of show you. Had some feet that are just about perfect for this. Had the screws to mount them, so feet. So I've got those on there. It's pretty clean, other than the slight stencil wear. There are a couple of one scratch here, and then a little, maybe there's some tape residue or something on the top. It's pretty clean. I love these old Sony receivers. They're just kind of a favorite of mine. So what I am going to do this morning is I'm going to power it on. I did test for DC offset. There is none. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll just hit one of the speaker terminals and show you that there is no DC on the speaker terminals. I tried to actually be prepared for this video, so we'll see how that pays off. I don't have any speakers attached. I do have an auxiliary cable attached. We're gonna kind of go through what the ailments are in terms of this unit, and what I think we're gonna have to do to kind of address some of the issues. So first, it's attached to my dim bulb. Right, powered on, doesn't even flash, so that's a pretty good sign. No relay in this, so there's no click. Here are, so let's see, we've got 4 millivolts on one channel, or no, 40 millivolts on the left channel, and we've got 15 millivolts on the right channel. So not concerned about attaching speakers to this at this point in time, because those are pretty low readings. This does have the screw down spade, I guess, type speaker connectors. So I'm going to try to attach these real quick and show you what the sound situation on this is. I apologize. I probably could have left these connected when I tested DC offset. So I thought I was prepared, but maybe I wasn't. This will just take a sec. Alright, almost there, almost there. Alright. I'm kind of bummed I found this one as an acquisition for one of the shops, because this kind of fits into a sweet spot in terms of performance, for the dollar on some of these older receivers. Before I bought this one, though, I had one ordered from eBay, reputable seller. FedEx lost it, and it came in the wooden box. So super bummed, because I was actually going to take the wooden case and put it on my personal 6050, which is, that thing is like in mint condition. So. But anyway, so I've got the speaker terminals. Nope. I've got these secured, so speaker wires shouldn't pop off. First, let's turn it on. We are on FM. If I move the tuning dial, you'll notice that nothing's moving. And I'll plug the antenna in just to show you that that does not change with the antenna. So plug the antenna in real quick and show you that tuning indicator. does not change. It floats around a little bit, but it's not. I mean, this is a strong station right there. It's not moving at all. And if I turn it up, hear the static. You can hear a little bit of the radio. And muting off and on doesn't have any effect. So basically, the FM section is not working. Like, I have to turn all the way up to get any sound out of it. So we have to address whatever's going on with FM. AM, despite the fact that the antenna is hosed, oh, it's going to make a liar out of me now. Oh, that's FM mono. Oh, yeah, it's going to make a liar out of me because it was working the other day. But it looks like AM. Nothing out of AM currently. But the other day I had AM. So what I've noticed is if I let this warm up a little bit, now there's no AM. So anyway, so the FM, AM section, what could cause that? Could be a power issue, could be some bad capacitors, could be a transistor. Given the popping, that static noise on FM, I'm thinking transistor at a minimum, but I'm not an FM guru. So anyway, we'll get into that and figure out what's going on. Let me plug some. I'll plug my phone in and get some music moving through it. Oops. This is my old phone. I always forget how it actually works. Alright, so got the zombies coming up here. And let's put this to auxiliary. And stereo, source, auxiliary. I need to make sure I actually have this plugged in back here in the right spot. It's in auxiliary. And it's turned up. And maybe we won't get sound, I don't know. Well, that's a bummer. That is a definite bummer because I was getting sound out of this the other day, and now there appears to be no sound. So I'm either completely messing something up here, or oops, I'm really close to the camera, or something has. Well, that sucks. Because I was getting sound. So, and I was going to illustrate that I have scratchy pots on this, but now we apparently oh, gosh, I'm such an idiot. I thought I hit play. Yeah, we're getting sound. It's my piece of crap. It's Spotify on this phone doesn't want to work, so don't you love it when you look at this crap and then something like this happens? Wow. Spotify is not cooperating with me at all today. Oh well, I'm not going to waste any time with this. Yeah, you can do something else. But we have scratchy pots. It sounds decent from what I remember. Yeah, why would you work? Why would you work? Why would you actually work, Spotify? Because that's just how it goes. Anyway, let me try one more thing. Let me get this situated first. Oh my Lord. All right, so this is starting off to be one of those days where things aren't going well from the initial get-go. So I'm gonna just let this sit for a little bit because it's gonna be a pretty aggravating morning to try to get some stuff done. So Spotify didn't want to work. Mic came unplugged. Couldn't get YouTube to pull up on my phone. It's just one of those days. So anyway, now I have YouTube pulled up, and so I'm getting sound out of both channels. That's flat. I do have the loudness button. I mean, sounds pretty good. Scratchiness in the pots. So at a minimum, it's going to need a cleaning. That's on auxiliary. So, and then I did test phono. Phono works. So the inputs seem to work. The only thing that's not working, FM, and then apparently today AM. I'm going to go back to AM just to see if I can get anything, because as mentioned, I was getting an AM signal and station 2 days ago, but not today. So kind of weird. So anyway, this is just going to be the initial evaluation video. Talk about what we're going to do. So cosmetically clean up, bend the power button back into the proper position. Got to be really careful when you do that, or as close to it as I can get. Clean the pots. So what I want to do first is clean the controls on this to make sure that I'm not dealing with some other issues, like maybe some transistors in the preamp section or the outputs or anything like that, because you never know. So clean the pots, test again, make sure I get good clean sound from what is working right now. Then I'm going to go into the FM section and start poking around and seeing what the issue is. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these pots real quick, and then I'll come back and do another sound check and let you know what I find. So I'll probably do that in this video. I'll just edit them together, and then we'll do the FM section in a separate video. All right, clean the pots. Sorry, mic was. Clean the pots. No more scratchiness. Not sure what we're doing now on this, but let's see. Yeah, so sounds good. So that's promising. Now, on the FM section, one thing I do want to point out before I get too far into this is I'm going to go back to FM, turn this up a little bit, and the popping is gone. There it is. All right. So I guess that's the pops come when you're trying to tune in a station. One thing I noticed, and I'm just going to keep this on static for right now, as I was cleaning the pots and looking around, I noticed that, let's see if I can get you down here close enough. Don't know if this is a potential cause or what the issue is, but there is let me get the shaky cam adjusted here. I'm going to turn this off. I don't want to cause any catastrophic failures. But if I look at this transistor right here, look how loose that is. See how the top part moves and this middle leg doesn't move? Because what I was doing is I was kind of poking around and tapping some things, and to me it looks like this transistor is broken, right? Now this transistor making intermittent contact could certainly contribute to that popping sound, right? Again, I don't want to zap in anything, so I don't want to do it while this is on, but I think that transistor is bad. So what I'm going to probably do first is find a suitable replacement for this transistor and see what that gains us. See if that is the cause or a contributor or what exactly happens. And there are several on the different boards. It looks like that's is it a, it says SK23A234. So I'm going to have to look at the schematic and see what that transistor is. So anyway, I said I was going to shoot the FM troubleshooting in another video, but yeah, I'm gonna see what I can replace that with, and maybe pop a transistor in there and luck out on this one. So anyway, let me do some research, come back, and see what we can find. Well, I did some research. That's not a transistor. That's a JFET, and I honestly don't know the difference between a transistor and a JFET. I need to look at that and figure out what exactly that means and what my options are. Yeah, it's a 2SK23. There are replacements available on eBay, but they look super duper sketchy. They're like $12 for two of them. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is for this. Like, it's broken. That middle leg is broken off. So I don't know how to. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. Right? I thought that was going to be a transistor. I could just pop something in there and replace it, but apparently it's not that easy. And I looked on Audio Karma and looked for anything with this this JFET even mentioned, and it seems as though anyone who asked what a suitable replacement was for this on Audio Karma, their post went unanswered. So I may see, maybe I can find another board. Anyway, I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm just talking out loud right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. But this will not be done in one video, because I'll have to come back with whatever my researched solution was for this, if there is one. If not, I'll close the loop on this project. But I think that's going to wrap it up for part one. So we have a toasted AM and FM section. It looks as though this board is, and I'm really not digging their service manual on this. This is the multiplexer. Yeah, this is the, no, this is not the multiplexer. This is, yeah, this is the multiplexer board. Or is it? Ah, shit, I don't know. Yeah, Q401 is the JFET in question. And you know what? Let's do something. Let's look at what our voltages are in this, because I do have the schematic up. So let me ground this, and I should be getting. Let's see, component side. We have resistors over there. I'm just getting my bearings. So we've got 2 big caps, 2 little caps. So coming from this direction, I should have 15 volts towards me, the leg towards me, 1 volt in the middle, and 5.8 volts on the other leg. So let's see if I can do this without screwing something up. Turn this on, just for the heck of it. 16.9, 5.1 on the middle one, that's dropping, and 6.3. So 15, 5, and 6, or 16, 5, and 6. So the middle one is definitely off. Let me see what the resistor voltages here. Yeah, it's 5.1. 6.3. There are no voltages listed for those. I'm just looking at this. Yeah, this is kind of weird. Like there are board diagrams with voltages, but I don't see like a schematic in here. Maybe I just haven't found it yet. Oh yeah, okay, I found a schematic. The actual schematic diagram in the service manual. All right, this is boring listening to me talk about this. So okay, not popping anymore. I said I wasn't going to do this, but let's I'll turn that down. I want to get a damn copyright. I don't know, I'm going to listen to this for a minute. I'm going to poke around a little bit and see see if anything changes. All right, like one final kind of update on this before I close out part one. So did a lot of research on this particular model, Sony, and I think my strategy going forward is first I'm going to get the AM antenna and look at AM first. Now, why am I looking at AM first? Right now I have diminished output or low output on both AM and FM. When I look at the block diagram and the schematic, I'm not noticing any common component. At least nothing right now has jumped out at me. So what I want to do is get AM, that antenna installed, see if AM works, then I can focus on FM, right? Without that common component other than the power supply, which I haven't even looked at the power supply voltages yet, but I do have the antenna coming, so I think that's what I'm going to do with this. Now, I have found out that there are a lot of components, transformers and things that are proprietary, that if they are bad and they are causing the FM issue, basically it's a game of wait to see if one pops up and hope that it's good, or get a board from a donor unit. But I'm not there yet. So again, the next part of the video will be installing the AM antenna, seeing what happens, and then moving on to FM. So this will be broken up into a couple of different parts. So stay tuned. There will be a part 2 eventually once I get the AM antenna in and get this one back into the bench rotation. So catch you in the next video.